I'll just do that.
Crash.
This one, huh?
Got a crash after 7 minutes or so.
Well, now I'll be testing the right one. And it's just like, I'm going to take this one off.
Got a longevity crash.
So yours was at 7?
Somewhere around there, yeah. I looked away for a few minutes and I couldn't tell anymore.
Yes. What? Do you want? What do you want, Joe? Okay.
I don't have any.
And those are, it is old, types, like a natural shade. And I thought she has the white skirt, I got her white eyes, first, I got her white eyes, and she looks here. It must have been hungry.
If I do that right now,
It's very rare. Right in tradition.
I thought I was going to married to the part. Well, we were all talking later in the conversation. Later in the conversation, figured out who he was. Some of the things that we were talking about, the one guy was going on. But in my head, I was thinking that. I didn't. No. The thing is, that actually, she said, well, I mean, the mom knows that we just, I don't know, she doesn't. Sister does. But, she agrees, she may come with it. If it ever comes up, then so. Anyway, so we had our fun last year. In summer.
Just with kids, remember? Sorry, I just made it really loud.
And I was probably always scared. Anyway, so I remember that. He brings me to the car with now. Now I see her. Chat with her. But I know they
Kathy Bates.
chat with her sister.
You are, you're quiet. No, it's fine. My husband was. Don't pronounce it correctly. Don't pronounce it correctly. But we have to go out, there's the screenshots of the people that were beating each other out or something like that. And the journalist kind of disappears. I don't know why. It was really like her, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta go. We'll chat that one. This is all about. He didn't lose some weight.
Yes, it's.
I told him to do that costume. That costume.
But the reality is the holiday. Yeah.
I don't know, finally go get some fish. Going bad and trying to aim.
I know. Consider video. This is Denise. Hello. Hi.
It is still going. Let's watch it for a second, see if it crashes around this time.
I'm gonna have to go buy some. What? What'd you say?
Okay, so they're still going.
that's the one thing that separates Apple and the most is that Apple has a fully backup store updates everywhere. That's one thing I was why I was switching to Android because if you if I have an Android there I don't know. And I used some other programs. I used separate programs. One to transfer pictures and video. Another one to transfer content. I did. I have this one hooked up and Samsung.
Yeah, that's really good actually.
So my dad's phone is hooked to Samsung. So he's got a Samsung account. He's got a Google account. Oh, is that? I have all these settings. All the square settings. Samsung. I have Postgres. So what I can do is I can try and program text, call logs, and pictures and videos. Put it into contacts. So then I found a way that found a way to email his contacts. Then I went into his Google account. Ordered that comic book scene.
I don't even know what's happening anymore. He's just doing some kind of random testing. So I'll show you the individual little bitty squares. So here we are. I'm just gonna do this again. Whoa. It's spinning everything. Oh, there goes the fans. So if this thing's gonna crash, it's gonna do it now. Jesus. Chill out, son.
Then.
See if my phone will charge now. My phone was charging. You gotta get an Apple. You gotta get an Apple. Every once in a while, I was like I love my phones, but the problem I do not like about Android,
Mhm.
absolute one thing is that after a year or two of having a phone, it'll quit charging.
That's pretty much any phone nowadays, honestly.
It just quit. I mean, I like the phone. I have no problems with it. And then all of a sudden, it just quits charging.
I will say, as far as like modern Android phones, I like LGs a lot, actually.
LG's my favorite.
LG is my favorite. I like.
Before I forget, did you ever get your new phone?
I got
They
it
already sent it around
in
that
last
quick?
week. Yeah,
That was quick.
it was the only one of them that wasn't on back order. Literally every other model, like the 32s and the 256s, and every other 128 gig was on back order until like November. This was the only model, the 128 gig blacks, that weren't on back order until like then. So I got super lucky, is what it was. Okay. So I'm recording this one. I'm doing another test on full res native camera, and I'm letting it run because the last one I had crashed at about 7 minutes or so. I'm at 6:32 right now.
See, this one's still going. This is 39.
Well, I have this one recording at like full res, full spec. So like the highest resolution possible.
This
except the
one-
webcam.
This
And-
one's recording. I see, and I don't know all that crap. So, I see crap. Sorry.
Well, basically like all the stuff that like when it defaults into like the highest one. Yeah.
So I have I normally start them at default. So
Well, I did it at that, and then I recorded it at a lower one, because I've noticed that, of course, the higher the resolution goes, the worse the quality is. I want to almost ask Josh to see if he can default the lower resolutions to being the defaults. Because what it is I've noticed that when you go with the higher resolutions, obviously, it's lower quality. So I want to see if there's a way that they can make them like default to the mid-res, like the 720s or so, instead of going to the 1080s. And that way, it'll automatically be spec'd for the highest quality. Because what'll happen is everyone's going to automatically go for the higher resolution ones, thinking, oh, well, that's going to be the best one, but it's too taxing on the machine.
and this is for see, now going back to this app of being where it's for students and teachers just to get them, even though I do understand the gamers are using them and kids are and stuff, which is fine. But the thing about it is that if I was going to go in and record something, I'm not going to touch any of that crap.
No.
I'm not going to touch it. You know why? Because I don't
you don't
understand
know
it.
it.
I don't know it. So as on a teacher level, someone who's going to record their classroom,
We need to make it to where it's like default.
they're not going to touch it.
We need to make everything that can make it the best look as default as possible. I understand the thing because a lot of them, like for example, like I said, I'm running this one and I just had it taxed to the point of it. I was almost forcing it to crash because I was running a GL test, which basically is like web graphics. So like testing the limits of where your browser can do and everything. And that also uses a lot of power on the CPU. So I was trying to see if I can force it to crash.
I think,
And that
yeah.
time it didn't, thankfully, so.
And see, for me, putting all these options on here, I think is just going to make it worse and less teacher friendly.
Yeah.
If that's the area that we're actually headed for.
Yeah, and it is.
I mean, if you look at
what
what the kids, what their teachers actually send them and teach them, you know what?
90% of, yeah.
Actually, well, they use McGraw.
McGraw, yeah.
Yeah, they use McGraw Hill. Let me see if I could go in here. I bet you I have it in
Dude,
here.
McGraw Hill does everything. They have, who's the partner with McGraw Hill? I know they have one. What do you think about that, Joe? Quick question. What do you think about making it to where instead of it defaulting to the highest res on there, defaulting to like the medium res ones, like
It defaults to the medium for me.
It defaults to the highest one for me.
Just on yours?
On the 1080, I don't know. It might. Because one is.
Well, let's try it on a few others, but I can
Yeah.
tell you mine was medium when I installed it this morning.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, 'cause mine defaults to the 1920 by 1080. Because if we could default to the 720, that gives it a much higher quality. Because you have the.
Well, tell him, ask him.
I will.
He might be able to force that in there instead of dynamically determining it. The thing is always tell people users are stupid, right?
Yeah.
We're not stupid, but the very first time you play with something, you wreck it. And you might not know that you're wrecking it. And to me, we're giving them 0 to 100 in 2 seconds, right? It's just like, they're going to completely destroy the video file. I'd rather start at a lower level, and then they say, well, I want more, well, then increase it more. I mean, it's like starting your car off with your stereo full blast, right? It's like, I don't want
Yeah.
bad consequences could happen. So I think for the app, it should be at a reasonable setting.
Yeah, I
So-
think 720 should, the max res should be the.
I can just tell you, 1080 is you're copying something at a high, it's just killer on your machine. Unless you have like a desktop powerful Mac, you pay $3,000 for, yeah, it could probably
If
handle
you're
that
running on a
fine.
Mac Pro, then probably.
But most of us on these older machines, Chromebooks, I mean, the experience is going to be exactly kind of what we're seeing today. It's not
what
the
do teachers
best.
have? Teachers ain't gonna have like super powerful machines.
No,
If they
most
do,
of them
they
are
sure
going
as
to
hell
have
ain't
something
gonna
that's 2 to
use-
3 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of them are doing Chromebooks, which are pieces of crap to begin with. It's like a super low-end PC. So
Mhm.
I'd rather start low and force them at a higher setting. Was it working well for you?
Yeah. That's good.
Mine seems to be, I mean, I've been recording it as I work throughout the day, but
I had one random little crash.
Yeah, he said he had a random crash.
But the more I'm running it, because I ran one just now, because I had one when I first started it, like the first time I ran it, and we crashed it for about 7 minutes or so.
really,
But I just tried it again, the exact same thing, and I actually went and like did a WebGL test on it just to really push the CPU and see if I could force it to crash, and it didn't. So I think it was just a random.
it is software. I mean,
It happens.
it happens.
Yeah. I mean, trying to force it didn't work. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
could have
call
been a
it.
fluke.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a glitch.
Well, it is browser dependent, and Chrome is not
The most
stable on the
yeah.
Mac.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues. What I was telling him is like, okay, I did get a crash on this one. I found it.
Yeah, mine.
And this was on my
defaults to the top.
desktop over here.
Oh, there you
So
go.
this one crashed at 42. No, that's just the timer. 32, 33. Let's see what it is.
Curious to see. I turn the webcam all the way.
Hello?
up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
God, it doesn't tell me the time on it. So let me go through.
No, I can't go that low. I just posted it, and to be honest, I have several people. Being that it's less than a week old, online. I will. Thank you. Yeah.
Let's try and.
I'll give you 2,000 for it, Justin.
This guy.
Cash. I'll give you 2,000 cash right now.
What it is his daughter wants the car bad. And she just started college.
Oh, that makes sense. That's a good college vehicle.
Yeah, but when I buy my daughter a car, you have to learn, like, there's certain things in life at a very young age. I remember what I wanted and what I got.
Uh-huh.
What I wanted was half the price. It was $2,000, and then what I wanted was $4,000. And my mom's like, "You have $2,000, but I want this one."
Yeah.
I was like, come on, Mom, like help me out.
Well,
No,
it's the
that's
same thing
I
with me.
wanted a Mustang or a Thunderbird, and I got a 30-year-old Isuzu Trooper. And guess what? I
Like,
loved that car.
Yeah, that's the whole
That damn
point
thing was
is
indestructible.
when you're 16, it doesn't matter. I hope my daughter's like into country because my friend.
Big truck.
No, not a big truck. Old beat up. That's
Yeah,
the
the
hot
old
thing
truck,
now.
yeah.
Like an old '82. Now the prices of those have gone
They've
up.
gone up though.
But
That's hilarious.
but my friend got one. He goes, yeah, I paid like $2,800 for it. And she's like treats it like it's like a brand new Porsche or something. She's like she treats it like it's her best car ever. I'm like, man, I hope my daughter's into country music or something. She's like, I want that old. Like it was beat up, like that was the whole point. Like has like a old tire in the back that's rusted, and she wants to keep it in there. Like it's such like a, you know what I mean? But it's like at least it's a good trend, right? It's like your kids want something old and beat up. I'm like that's how kids were like 40 years ago. They're like, yeah, I want the old pickup,
That's
beat
how
up
it is.
pickup
That's
truck.
how we could tell who the kids are driving around in our area
Mhm.
because they're all what I call country bumpkins, and they have all the pickup trucks.
The old beat
and-
up pickup
Yeah,
trucks.
and then you can see the
They're
really
easy to-
old ones that have money though. You can see the difference. But
They're
those
easy
are
to
the cooler
maintain.
ones.
They're easy to run. Hell,
They're
those
dependable.
things-
No, the spoiled ones have the gigantic tires with the red
Yeah.
headlights
oh
and
my
like
god.
They're
like they
limited.
they pimped it out. That's the rich.
Those are the rich ones.
Mhm.
The
No,
other
my friend
ones are
has
the
like
old
it's like
ones.
you driving it.
Like Chloe, she was in my old Suburban, and it was like the paint was falling off. You know what? Everybody loved that Suburban. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, Chloe, go get your boat. And put it over here, put it over here.
party car.
It is.
They know,
That's the reason I love
'cause you
my
can
car.
spill something in it. It's
She
not the end of the
liked it.
world, you know.
Yeah, it's the reason I love my car. Like I said, it was a 20-year-old little Japanese SUV, and I loved that thing because it had 4-wheel drive and it was indestructible. I crashed
Troopers
that thing
were-
3 or 4 times. And
Troopers
still-
were popular.
Dude, all right, that car, I swear. So I crashed it right before I left, and we sold it to a guy because when I crashed it, it punctured the radiator, bent the frame, completely framed the hood. And so we sold it, and this guy came over and he said, "Tell you what, if you'll let me do like 3 things, I'll give you an extra $1,000." We're like, "Sure, okay." So basically, all he did was cut off one of the fan blades because the fan blade was just plastic.
Yeah.
Put some like adhesive on the radiator and like pulled out the frame with a winch and drove it off. And I'm not sure if it's the same one, but I assume it is because it's pretty hard to miss. My sister called me the other day. She's like, "Hey, dude, I saw your car driving down the road the other day." I'm like, "That's 15 years later. How the hell is that thing still running?"
I tell you what, Hispanics could fix cars and make them run forever. The older the car is, they're actually easier to work on because
Yeah.
everything was invisible and
Let's say that thing was easy to work on. That's the other part that I was really happy about because there was a lot of work that needed to be done. I think we flushed that radiator 5 times when we first bought it, and literally every time it just came out looking like mud because it was so rusty.
Just keep holding
But-
it together.
The other one that I loved as far as like those old trucks is at a summer camp I worked at one time. They had this old the work truck of the camp was this old Ford, and that thing. I think that it had like a milk carton as some of the parts in there. Like it was not supposed to.
my friend in high school had a milk carton in the back seat to hold the front seat up. So like if he didn't have it, it would be all the way like flopped back, and he hated it. So someone would have to sit back with their knees behind there to hold it up. That thing was a piece of shit. We called it the chicken nugget
Chicken nugget.
because he always ate chicken nuggets, so it smelled like chicken nuggets, but it was like a little tiny piece of shit. So it's like it was the chicken nugget car.
Chicken nugget.
Be like 6 of us in it, just the back bumpers barely making it
How
above the
funny.
ground. Gas is $1. Let's go. Burn that oil. I really like the old Broncos,
Mm.
and I didn't realize how expensive they are. They're like a decent condition one from the 80s. They're like 15,000, 20,000. I'm like, what?
Because of OJ, man.
I know he made it popular forever,
That's
but
the
they're
reason
just
why I like
solid vehicles.
Yeah.
And they're 4x4. You get the 4x4. It's big. Those are good to take to the lake and.
That's the one thing I really lament about like computers and cars and everything nowadays is the fact that they've made modern vehicles so incredibly difficult to work on. So
They meant to do that. The aftermarket.
Oh, I know.
It's like they got smarter.
Oh, I
I
know.
have no room in them. So I'm still waiting for the stupid belt in my car to be changed.
I remember unbuckling my phone, taking my phone apart one time and fixing it. Like I can't take an iPhone apart, Thing will never be the same.
No.
You gotta be a pro at it.
Let's say the only ones that you used to be able to do it on the 2s and the 3Gs. Anything after they went to the boxy format's almost impossible.
Yeah.
I remember mine, that was my favorite, was my old G1.
Well, you have to have special tools. I've seen them at the shop do it. I was watching them, and they had all these weird tools, and
Oh,
the guy had like he had diamonds or something. He had his like special goggles on, looking at it. I'm like,
Like one of the old, like,
yeah, and I'm gonna do that at home with a
watchmaker
paper clip.
things.
Yeah, screwdriver.
I know on YouTube I've seen that to change like the port
Yeah.
charging thing. You do that. I'm like, who has that stuff at home?
I would say, I just remember my old G1, and I loved that phone. Like, the very first Android phone.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was indestructible, and you could do anything you damn well pleased to it, and it would work.
Have you seen? It's probably fake. The new G phone that's coming out through today. Tomorrow?
Pixel? I know they're
That
announcing
has to
it
be a
today.
joke. They basically, it looks like an iPhone.
They're announcing it today. There's a few like leaks or like
Yeah.
concept photos and stuff like that. But yeah, Google's having their press conference for it today as well as some.
I want to see it because if it is, I'm like, dude, you completely stole their
design.
Which is awesome because they have a good like physical design. It looks eerily close to an iPhone. They got enough money to fight them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they can fight Oracle, I'm sure they can fight Apple.
What's up?
What's up, Slacker?
Not much.
I'm talking about Google ripping off the iPhone.
Stop charging again. Damn, I hate my phone.
Take time. I think the upgrade
And
program.
my phone. It's like I like Android and I'm an Android user, but after about a year of having my phone, going on 2 years, they quit charging.
Well, that's
They
pretty much
just
any
they
phone
just quit
nowadays.
charging,
Like I
and
said,
it's
that's what
like I
happened
don't
with
feel
my
like
iPhone.
going and getting
My
a new
iPhone's
phone.
done that twice after
Yeah.
the second one. I think all of them.
It's at 2 years. They just quit charging. I can't get the stupid thing to
They
charge.
know, and that's why they do those 2-year contracts so you could come in and get a new phone.
It's like they have a timer in there to actually break your phone.
No, what they do is they do
Yeah.
software upgrades that are more draining on your battery,
Mhm.
and so those generations of battery follows the OS. Is how I look at it. Because that's happened. That was the problem with stupid iPhone. The second I switched that one iOS version, boom, that 5 got drained like super fast. 5 and 5S.
I was
34%.
gonna
So
say,
batteries have cycle counts too, though. So.
yeah.
So do you think it's the battery or is it
Well, that's
the
what I told you.
So
Order
buy
new
the battery first and then.
I'm pretty sure your phone's fine. I'm pretty sure it's a battery. Every
Oh, I
battery
forgot you
has
could change
like,
the batteries in those.
My last one you couldn't. So my last one, after about a year and a half, that's when I got this phone.
It catch on fire.
Mhm.
it's because of the way cycle counts work.
It just quits
Like,
charging. It just
It's
shuts
like
off.
1,000
Someone
cycle
said in
counts.
China, like the newer ones that were supposedly fixed or something, they're starting to catch fire. I mean, if they make a second, like this is the fixed batch and it happens again. I mean, that brand after that point is in the toilet for years.
Yeah, wow.
I was gonna say, somehow it's still like
Someone else will come to the market and beat them for second place. I don't know who it would be.
there was actually
LG, well, Google or LG.
HTC. Probably.
no,
I like
HTC
HTC. Those
hasn't.
are my two favorites.
HTC is
and
cheap.
LG.
HTC has not done anything good in the past few
Nope.
years.
Yeah, but,
Their last
They
phone,
used
they had
to-
problems with it.
but I think they're the makers of the Pixel phone.
No, probably not.
The new Google one that's coming out.
I think that's.
That's the one I told you
I'd
the
be-
leaked pictures. I was like, dude, there's no way the phone was.
I'd be really surprised if it was HTC was making it.
I mean, it's 100%.
I thought
Copy
it
of
was
the
HTC that's
iPhone.
making the Pixel.
How much is it
Yeah,
like to buy a new damn phone? Versus it being $9.
Well, if it's in your contract, you
$8.
get it for cheap.
Well, I'm not on contract because I still go through Cricket.
$200 for a. Oh, it's a 5S.
Go get a Samsung
Yeah,
7. I bet you they're cheap right now.
I'm surprised they're even showing it.
Just cross your fingers it doesn't blow up on
So
you.
yeah, previous rumors
They're
said it was
99.
made by
The
HTC.
Galaxies
told
are
you.
99.
No, it's still rumors. It hasn't been confirmed yet or anything. But I
For the Pixel phone?
yeah,
Okay.
because HTC is such a
I've never liked them.
dichotomy to me. Well, I had my first few phones were HTC because that's back when HTC was
What's
like
this
the
phone?
major.
What's
I
Yeah.
this?
had my very first
No, I
smartphone
have the
ever,
Stylo one.
which
Oh,
was
okay.
the Mogul
Oh, no.
for Sprint, which is basically this POS.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, the
PC
Windows,
phone.
Oh, it
the
is,
Windows
yeah.
mobile phone.
Same damn phone.
I loved that thing though, because that's back when Windows. That's right before they
So we
started
have
making Windows
Stylo
Mobile
too.
try to do too much at once,
Yeah.
and you could do anything with that thing.
Yeah, I remember it was like a hacking phone.
Oh yeah, that thing was so
Someone,
much
I remember
fun.
some guy telnetting
Oh, really?
into somewhere from it. I'm like, that's sweet.
I was like, those things were so much fun. It's the same thing with the other one that's still there is the HT2, which was the first
I'm not
Windows 6. It was the first 4.3 inch phone. So that was the first one. I was like, this thing is giant. But what happened was
you can still
they
get it.
put it on Windows Mobile 6.5, which was the last one they did before they completely stopped
Yeah.
using that old build. And so the software on it organically was crap.
Huh?
But the way that they designed it was so modular and hackable that you could do anything you damn well please with it. Like there are people putting full Windows builds on it. Somebody put iOS on it.
That's the problem, is it wasn't consumer driven.
No.
And that's what killed them.
Well, the issue was, and that's back when I was still working for T-Mobile, is I hated that phone. But the reason why is everyone bought it because it was the very first big phone. Everyone was like, I gotta have a big phone and everything. And then of course, it
was like 6 months later. Yeah, they had the market for like 6 months. I had a friend that had that phone.
And then they just fucking crashed.
Well, you know what? If Microsoft is involved in anything in the past decade, it goes to hell.
As I say, you've heard about all the new Windows 10 bullshit, right?
Yeah.
About how like all the And I'm like, man, I'm still running the one I have installed.
Microsoft is going to disappear as a company. They're going to be some weird, obscure company 20 years from now that we'll remember because we're older. But it's like saying GE. What the fuck do they do? I don't really know. That's going to be Microsoft. They're going to be involved in government. They got to the cloud late. They get anything consumer facing of that company has bombed in the past 10 years. Just look at everything.
No, I know. Yeah,
Surface.
Windows Mobile's terrible. The Surface.
They blew the cloud.
Yeah.
They got the cloud wrong.
They did.
I'm like, and they're trying to beat Microsoft. They're trying to beat Amazon. They're trying to beat Google. I'm like, they're so far ahead of you. And you got.
That's right. They're even trying to like, because they have.
What are you paying right now?
Because they have a version of like AWS and everything, right?
I think.
Yeah, because that's what Azure is, right?
Yeah,
And I got
that's their cloud. And when you do Office Cloud now, it runs out of that whole sweet technology stack.
Just the way that the entire .NET infrastructure is set up is I don't understand how you can have that in a modern day system.
Well, they never modernized the platform, so it just stopped
That storage
what it
shit on
is.
that one?
Yeah, it's always funny whenever, that's the one thing I always laugh about whenever somebody would be looking for like a .NET person. It's like, why don't you just move to anything new? Anything.
They're just layers and layers deep, and
Yeah, it's too late now.
It's too late.
Unless you pay millions to rebuild.
And then that never gets
Yeah.
approved, so it's cheaper to maintain shit.
Yeah, and a lot of it's like banking and shit like that, because it's all still, it's
Boring, cryptic.
80% of their stuff is,
I don't need to
enterprise
change
level.
it.
Yeah.
Did they have
They pay him $60,
Yeah.
and that covers his whole phone bill.
No, so 60 no matter what, whether you
Yeah.
pay 50 or you pay 55.
So it would cover, but I think
No,
I'm gonna
just do
switch
that
over to
shit.
Sprint.
Yeah, just do that shit.
But you know what I could do though with Sprint is I could go with the Apple. Y'all are gonna need to trade me on my phone, but I could get like Liz's account, so I could get her stuff, and then same thing with my husband could take Nate's account.
Family account.
Well, not the family account, but you know how like we could see what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
like what there's to make sure they're not posting anything crazy and out there. I know Apple has that to where we get copied on their stuff. I took Liz to Special Olympics to go do the volunteers this past weekend at Blossom, and we got her together with some of her older friends that she hadn't been around in a while. And I was talking with the parents. They're like, "Oh yeah, no, I still take his phone and I go through his." I'm like, I don't do that with my kids. I mean, aren't they allowed some kind of private? But then again, look at Nate. He's always in trouble.
The thing about Cricket, they offer no upgrade for it.
No, it's just that women are nosy.
I don't do that.
It's called simpleness. There's
I'm serious.
women
I'm
like going
No,
into
they
people's stuff all the time.
They're like, yeah, I still read all of his messages and stuff. And
My mom didn't. She probably didn't dare read my stuff back
It
then.
was funny. I'll
take the kids' phones. I'll be like, hey, let's do that. Because she'll be in the room all weekend long with her phone. Give me your phone. So I go through and I'll just open
What
it.
was the name of that
And
one?
then I'll be like, where are those? And she'll
Like
show me who the apps are.
or
And then Nate's like, oh, mommy, did you check? Because they like to try to beat each other. So I see what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell
Well,
you.
they
It's like I told Nate. I mean, he cusses.
straight up like
There's a
Don't
funny
cuss to
viral
me.
video right now of this girl. She's like singing on the microphone. Typical brother sister, and the younger brother's like, "You fuck," like just like it's like she basically got her brother in trouble, but he's like off camera, doesn't know she's filming. It's like, oh, that's all brothers and sisters do. It's fight.
Yeah.
Hate each other.
Mhm.
And they become friends when they're older. Most of them.
Pretty much. That's how it works. Yeah, I may just switch phones. Forget that.
At least with the big carriers, you can do payment upgrades. And you don't have to do it full cost of the phone every time.
Yeah.
At $750.
How's your 7?
I love it. It's a lot faster.
So speed is the biggest.
Speed is definitely the biggest, and then like
You
it's one of those
take a
things
lot of
that
pictures.
had I not
videos and
originally
stuff,
gotten
so
it, I probably
a
wouldn't have
16